How's it going, Vault Hunters, and welcome back to another Borderlands 2 Legendary Weapons Guide. Today, we're going to be covering the legendary Torgue grenade known as the Rolling Thunder. Now, the Rolling Thunder can only come in Explosive Element due to it being a Torgue item and is a base game item, which means no DLCs are required for you to obtain this item. Now, the red text for this item reads, "The thunder shall bring forth the pain." And if I had to make any character recommendations for this item, I would recommend Axton and Krieg, which I will explain more near the end of the video. And please note that the name of your Rolling Thunder may be different to mine, but it will always be some variation of the Rolling Thunder. Now, to get your very own Rolling Thunder, you first need to head to your nearest fast travel station and head to the location Tundra Express. Now, once we've loaded into the area, open up your map, scroll up to the top right, and within the blue circle, we'll be heading to another location known as End of the Line. Now, in order to gain access to this location, we are going to have to progress through a main campaign mission known as a Train to Catch. Now, unfortunately, you cannot access this location via fast travel station. You will just have to travel there by foot, but thankfully, once you enter that location, every time you save quit, you will load into that area until you decide to enter another location, which then, if you would like to come back, you will have to re-enter Tundra Express and then walk back to the end of the line. Now that we've reached the correct location, we're going to open up our map, scroll down a bit, and within the red circle, we'll be finding the enemy known as Wilhelm. Now, Wilhelm is a mandatory boss fight that you will have to defeat in order to progress through the main campaign. Despite the fact that he has a giant red HP health bar, he is considered a loader type enemy, which means corrosive damage will be very effective against him, and incendiary damage will be very weak against him. Now, Wilhelm has a 5% chance at dropping you the Rolling Thunder, but note that he does have a second legendary, that being the Logan's Gun at 5%, that has a chance at eating your drop for the Rolling Thunder. Now, the Rolling Thunder does have a second dedicated drop source, that being the Torgue vending machines from the Torgue's Campaign of Carnage DLC. This will then give the item a 16.7% chance at spawning inside of one of the Torgue vending machines. Now, the closest non-unique item in the game to the Rolling Thunder is going to be a purple Merv Torgue grenade with matching parts and the rubberized accessory, and as we can see, the Rolling Thunder just destroys this thing in every single way, and that's not even including the Rolling Thunder's unique legendary effect. Now, upon throwing the Rolling Thunder, it'll bounce in a straight line, creating explosions upon each bounce after the first initial bounce. And then once making contact with an enemy or hitting a certain time limit, it will then detonate, causing 10 mini grenades to spawn out of it. Something to note is that it is very easy to kill yourself with this grenade due to all the constant explosions, as well as if it just never hits a target, there's a chance that it just finds its way back to you, downing you, so this item is very easy to just end up downing yourself. Now, something that's very unfortunate with this item is that the only throwable attachment that it can drop with is the rubberized attachment. So this item cannot be dropped with the longbow, homing, or lobbed attachment. As well as here is a list of skills, items, and class mods that can help boost the overall damage of this item. And for those who don't know, grenades don't really have proper attachments like weapons do. Instead, they have this hidden little internal thing known as grades that determine the overall fuse time or damage and so on of the grenades. And as we break down the god roll, I will tell you what each grade is necessary for the desired damage, fuse time, and so on. And now that we know everything that we need to know, we can break down the god roll. Now, the first stat we're going to be looking at is going to be the grenade damage. Now, in this case, we're going to be looking for a damage grade of 7. This will be the highest we can possibly get the grenade damage to be. Now, the next thing we're going to be looking at is going to be the attachment. This is going to determine how the item is thrown. In this case, it's going to be locked to the legendary Rolling Thunder rubberized attachment. This is what gives the grenade its unique effect. Now, the next stat we're going to be looking at is going to be the blast radius. In this case, we're going to be looking for a damage radius of extra large. This is going to give us the biggest blast radius possible. Now, the next stat we're going to be looking at is going to be the fuse time. In this case, we are going to be looking for a trigger grade of 0. This is going to give us a fuse time of 0.0, which is the best it can possibly be. Now, the final stat that we're going to be looking at is going to determine the amount of mini grenades that come out of this thing upon detonation. Now, in this case, we're going to be looking for a child count grade of 4. This is going to maximize the amount of mini grenades, as well as giving us the highest possible damage that this grenade is capable of. So that's pretty much going to do it for me when it comes to covering this item. As usual, I always try and show these items off in their most bare bones state, so you as a player can determine whether or not it is worth the time and effort to acquire it on your character. And yeah, it's not the greatest thing. If I had to make any recommendations, like I said in the beginning, I would suggest Axton and Krieg. Axton and Krieg being the two characters that have the most benefits when it comes to just overall splash damage as well as explosive damage. They just have a lot of skills that really just synergize with those kind of things. And I'm sure you can get some builds that work quite well on them, but there's just better options at the end of the day. So it's like, why would you even want a Rolling Thunder if you could just build a fastball on Krieg and Axton, or just in general a bonus package? Like the bonus package is just a better and safer version of the Rolling Thunder without the extra bounces and explosions, and the fact that a Rolling Thunder is locked to a rubberized accessory. I really do feel like the Rolling Thunder has some form of sentience, like it always finds a way to come back and blow me up regardless of how far I throw it away. And yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but you know, if you think it's worth it, you can go for it. But I highly recommend that this is one that you maybe just skip. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for me. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time, Vault Hunters.